Enough. Hello everyone, and it's my first video which is not a vlog. It will be a talking video. And for everyone who is skipping my talking parts in the previous vlogs, probably that's not for you, but for someone else. I hope I look fine on the camera. I hope you can see me, you can hear me. I hope you can see my sleeping dog. It's very important. She's very interested also in my talking video. But yes, it's time to talk, if you still didn't get it. So I'm here with my laptop. I kind of prepared what I want to speak, I mean the topics, but to be honest, it will go just with the flow. I will just speak spontaneously what comes to my mind. I just wrote some things which I want to mention to not forget it, so I will sometimes take a look here, but it will be just a spontaneous video. I just want to speak for my memories. Maybe someone at some point will find this video helpful about my experiences, and I want to speak today, as you understood already by the title probably, to compare. I want to compare Korea and Europe. And by calling Europe, I'm speaking about Latvia, Sweden, and Spain a little. Because these three countries, I lived there. In Latvia, I lived for 19 years. In Sweden, I lived almost 2 years. In Spain, I lived for 3 months, but still, like, maybe not that much, but you can understand. And in Korea, I was there for 4 months for my exchange. And for me, it's interesting at some point how different we are. And I just want to capture that for my memories, and maybe for someone who is thinking to go somewhere, and maybe for exchange also, etc. So yeah, I'll just talk here. And I want to mention that everything what I'm talking about is just my experiences, what I heard from people, what I experienced by myself, where like it can be different from everyone. Maybe even someone who was with me in Korea will not agree with something, maybe, or maybe someone else talking about Europe. It depends. So it's just my experience. It's just my opinion. Let's remember on that. So yeah, let's speak and let's start. And my dog left. Sad, but okay. I feel like I look so serious. I even put my glasses on and with my laptop. And also what I wanted to say, that probably this will be not one video, but a few parts. So yeah, be ready for many talking videos. I think my dog was happy to hear that and she came back. I hope you can see her. I'm not sure, maybe she's too far. It's a cutie, right? Okay, first topic I want to speak about is education. Because actually, I was kind of disappointed by that in Korea. Yeah, we're starting not with a good maybe, but it was the most interesting. My expectations were high about Korean education. So let me say first that I'm comparing university education, and I'm studying in university in Sweden in a city called Jönköping. Shout out to Jönköping. And I'm studying there for 2 years, bachelor degree. Will be now my last semester. And in Korea, I was studying in Aju University in Suwon. Shout out to Aju University. And yeah, for 4 months as exchange student. So obviously in Korea, most of the programs are in Korean, but the courses we took, like exchange students, it was in English. They have some, so it's okay, but it wasn't a lot of courses to choose, to be honest, and it was mostly engineering or business. And like the courses were like, yeah, it was not a lot of courses at all, unfortunately, and it was also kind of hard because they didn't have a lot of spaces for courses. So if you don't have time, or you missed the timing to apply for one course, it might be already taken. And also some courses collapsing with each other, and you need to check out the timing and the days when they are. But yeah, I had 5 English courses. Like first, let me talk about English level for teachers. In Korea, most of my teachers were not teachers, professors, because we are at university. Their English were not that good. They were Korean. Only one professor was from Canada, and his English was obviously good, but other ones, Koreans, the English wasn't that good, I would say. You can understand a person, but you cannot maybe learn a lot because just she or he cannot speak that well. It was kind of disappointing too. And in Sweden, of course, in Sweden, everyone speaks English really well. Like, everyone knows English really well. In Korea, it depends on the person. Many Koreans are shy to speak in English, even though most of them speak English well, but they're just shy to speak with you. But the ones who know, then my friends who were speaking English, their English were good. But in Sweden, all the professors speak English really well. Sometimes I'm confused if I understand the lectures because it's complicated English for me, because I would not say my English is perfect. But yeah, I prefer this to, like, you know, improve my English. And here in Korea, it was kind of like, I don't know, like school vocabulary, and a little disappointing too. But in Sweden, like, at first I want to say that in Sweden, the education is very good. I would not say it's very hard. I mean, it depends on what you're learning. And in Korea, the same. Like, for me, the courses were not hard, but for some people, it was actually hard. Like, the ones who are really in engineering, something deeper, it was hard, and the exams for them were like much harder. For me, I took it really chill, and my courses were kind of chill, and I was like, I'm exchange student, so yeah. But I would say in both, it was like not that hard to study. But the most difference is that in Sweden, we have so many group works. Like, Swedish education, and maybe all Scandinavian, not sure, is mostly focused on that you need, like, on practice. You need to work in the group, you need to do something physically, not physically, like, okay, it also depends on the education, because the business students in Sweden, they write a lot, like reports and etc. And for me, as I'm like more graphic design, web design, marketing, and etc., like, we need to make more design things and be creative and work and not only write. And here in Korea, it was like half-half. Like, in Korea, we had a group work once for a group project. And otherwise, I would say, I think in most of the courses in Korea, you work alone. Or you, like, yeah, you just do your assignments by yourself. You don't work in a group. And in Sweden, I'm actually saying that I think, if not every, but almost every course, you work in a group. And also you have individual assignments, but you always work in a group. And it depends. Like, in Sweden, a few times you don't choose your group, and most of the times you can choose your group, so it depends. And if you don't choose your group, it might be overwhelming because you don't know people and you might not really work well and everything, but that's part of education, also learning and trying to work with everyone. But I would say, especially when you choose your group, I think it's very cool when you work in your group. So yeah, I would just say that in Sweden it's more practical, you do things and learn. And in Korea it's more theoretical, and then you memorize things and learn. I would say like this. Because we also, in Sweden, we do have exams, but it also depends on what you're studying. But for me, we do have exams, but I would say not that much, because we have a lot of assignments, also group assignments, individual assignments, where you need to present your work, you need to do something, and then you have your grade. And in Korea, like, the grade also includes assignments, but you almost always have exam in the end. And the exam, it's mostly like just memorizing stuff, and the exam is another topic. Let me just conclude the teaching styles. Sweden, more practical, more interactive, more critical thinking, I would say, and Korea, more memorization, theoretical, and individual work, and Sweden, group work. So yeah. And coming to the exams in Korea, it feels like you're just writing a test in school. Like, it feels so unprofessional, if I can say, because, I don't know, maybe my expectations were really high. In Sweden, first, we have like last lecture or last lectures before the exam period, where our professors tell us, okay, so be prepared for this, like this will be on the exam, this, like also, like, so you kind of understand. And they usually say, like, you will have, like, I don't know, 15 multiple choice and 3 open questions or something like this. So you know what you will have. In Korea, it depends on a teacher. Some professors didn't even say anything about exam. You like nothing. Like, it will not happen. You just go for exam and you will know what will be there. And some professors were also saying, like, yeah, you will have like 15 multiple choice questions. But in Sweden, for almost every class, you have 3 previous exams, tests for previous years. So, and you can check them and you can go through them. You can do, like, learn and do it by yourself and test yourself before the actual exam. And that's really nice because they might change the exam. It might be also like different teacher. It might be also like different something. But most of the cases, you at least know kind of what kind of topics there will be, and you test yourself, you go through them, and you memorize some things also. And that's very nice because you know what you can prepare for, what you will have. And in Korea, you don't have this, and I was so surprised because I was thinking, like, everywhere it's like this. It's like, it makes sense to have previous exams to prepare yourself, because otherwise what am I supposed to prepare? And that's the thing. In Korea, for exam, you just need to memorize stuff. You just need to kind of memorize everything because you don't know what will be on the exam. Like, you actually, like, I don't know, it's a surprise for you. And not a nice surprise, but it's a surprise. And you basically don't know anything about what will be on your exam, so you just go through all of your slides, through everything, and just memorize everything because you don't know what will be there. And I think that's crazy, kind of, because why should I memorize all this stuff? My memory is not also that good. Like, yeah. And also how the exams are going. In Korea, it's just like you go in the classroom, maybe in the classroom where you had all classes, or maybe in the bigger one, so you sit a little separately. And then they just give you papers, everything on papers, and you just write a test or something on papers, and you write it. They give you usually like an hour, or depends. And you just write everything. You write your name, you write your student ID, complete the test, and give the paper to the teacher. That's it. Also, like, it feels like you're in school. And in Sweden, it's more serious. We have a specific place for exams, and you go there, and it's like a separate tables for everyone. And when you enter this classroom, this place, you search by paper your name and student ID, and they write already the number of the table where you need to sit, so they do it. So you find and usually it's always like different. You find your number, you sit on this table exactly. Every table has a computer. You log in there in your student account in computer, and then you complete your test in your computer. And it's also, there is a timer. Like, for example, your exam starts at 1 p.m. and you came like 5 minutes before, and there's like a timer till 1 p.m. So everyone's starting on time, everyone's starting at the same time. And all the tests are anonymous. I hope I said this word right. And even if you go into your student account, but when the teacher is checking your test, they don't know whose this test is. And it's very nice. I love this thing because, like, what if like the professor likes someone more, But in Sweden it will not happen. But because everyone is equal. That's what I'm talking about. And here, like, what if, like, I don't know, you don't, like, sometimes people are interesting and they might not really like one person, and what if you see their name and you're like, you usually you would not do that, but you just feel more confident, like, when you know that the professor don't know who, like, they will not know your test, they will not know what score you will get, they just know overall, and that's very nice. And in Korea, it's like by paper. Like in Sweden, I wrote one exam on paper, and sometimes you write on paper too when you need to like draw something or like some calculations or something like that. You need to do it on paper, but most of our exams are on the computer. And it's also nice because sometimes you can, if it's a multiple choice test, you can know the result already after you completed the test. That's very nice. You don't need to wait, because it's automatically already checking the answers. In Korea, everything is on paper and everything is like, I don't know, so chill. In Sweden, in these rooms, we even have a bathroom in this room, and you can go there and because some exams are like 2-3 hours. How am I supposed to survive there? And you can go to the bathroom. In Korea, as I understood, you cannot really go outside because you need to complete your test. Yes, but talking about like where was harder to study, I cannot really say because, as I said, I was exchange student, and when you're an exchange student, you don't really care about your studies. Although some of my friends were really studying hard and preparing really hard for exams and everything, but it also depends on what you're studying and how, like, on person. Unfortunately, I would say in Sweden you can learn more. The education is more modernized. Like, I don't know, in Sweden, of course, there are some boring classes. It happens everywhere, it makes sense. But in Korea, many classes, it felt so useless. The classes, like, actually, at some point we were like reading just Harry Potter book, like every class, like just reading. We were watching some videos, like random videos. We were like, I don't know. In Sweden, you can actually in most of the classes learn something. It's interesting and everything, but also depends on what you're studying, what classes you have, teachers, and everything. But Korea was quite disappointing for me in education, and I'm not saying Korean education is bad. No, but just probably comparing to Swedish one, it's on a lower level. And I was surprised because I don't know why, but I had a stereotype kinda that Korean education is very good. But I guess like it was meant in another way. Maybe like not really good, but let's talk about pressure to students there, because probably that's why it's good, because people need to study. So Koreans and in general people who study there for the full time, they have a lot of pressure on studying. I feel like they need to study a lot, like a lot. Like as an exchange student, it's okay, you can survive fine, but as a full-time student, because also they get discounts on their education, you can, like, depending on your grades, you can have a discount on how much you pay for your education in Korea. And it's like they actually study a lot, like a lot. I cannot say, I don't know how to say it in other words, but they do study a lot. They spend a lot of time studying. And it's a lot of pressure also if you don't study that well. And not only in this way, and maybe not for everyone, as I'm saying, but for most, as I felt. But yeah, in Sweden, it's more chill. Like, if you know, in the whole Scandinavia, they really care about your mental health, about work-life balance, and everything, and they try to make it for the best. And we also, in Sweden, we have like the semester is half a year, like 4 months, 5 months, and we have like a quarter. And in Korea, in this quarter, you also have midterms and then you have exams. But in this whole semester, you have all the courses. So I had 5 courses in the whole semester. In Sweden, you have 2-3 courses in one quarter and then 2-3 courses in another quarter. So it's very like you focus only on 2-3 courses at once. And that's very nice because you don't have a lot of information different and you just focus on this, and I feel like it does make more sense. Yeah, it's just more nice. But okay, I feel like I spoke about studying a lot. It just like not a trigger for me, but I was just so impressed by Korean education. I expected really more, or I don't know, maybe even if I'm going to, probably I might go to another European country to study, and I would be surprised too, because I would actually say in Sweden we have a good education. And here I also want to speak about student life. So, in Sweden, now I just feel like I love Sweden. I love Korea too. I love Korea. I love the exchange, but it's like speaking about education, student life. So, in Sweden, student life, as I'm a full-time student there, it's crazy how good it is. It also depends on a city, because I know, for example, in Stockholm, the student life there, as I heard from some people who are studying there, is not that good, because it's it's a quite big city. And here, because I'm studying Jönköping and it's a smaller city, I feel like everyone is more connected here and it's easier to interact with people and have more fun. And student life in my city is so good. I'm telling you, like, it's so good. Like, when I was going there, I was scared that I will be bored there because it's a small city. But in the end, there are like so many events, there are so many things to do, like every week, every day, that you cannot get bored there. Like, actually, we have a kickoff week before our studies starting, and that's crazy thing. Like, it's massive and it's super fun. We have different associations. I'm also in two of them, and I was also organizing events for students, and there are like bunch of associations which organize different, like, I don't know, whatever you like. You can like go paint, do some sports, you can like play Among Us in the city, you can, what else, like, you can play board games, you can learn languages, you can read book, like a book club, you can like many different events, and you actually cannot be bored there. Like, in my opinion, I really like all this concept, and I really like that all the associations are made by students for students. So we do care and we want this, and we want this like activities, and people, actually most of the people are passionate about this, and they're like, I don't know, they love to do these events, they love to join them and everything, so it's always fun. We also have a student club in our city, which is every Wednesday you can go there, and even sometimes on Friday, it depends, once in a while, and you can go there. We have our overalls, like mine is yellow pants because I'm an engineering school. You go in this student club in this overall, and like so many things, so many details which are super cool, and I don't know, like, it's like it makes also education and everything in Sweden so special and so good. Like, I love it, actually. In Korea, so I was also like comparing to Jönköping, it was a bigger city. I was not in Seoul, I was in Suwon, and it's like, I would not say it's a small city, but it's not a capital. And like, Seoul is 1-2 hours from Suwon by bus, and you can go there, and usually I was going there like every weekend to do something or to see and, you know, explore. But also in Suwon, again, I was an exchange student. As a full-time student, it would be different, probably, at some point. Not probably, I would say it will be different. But as an exchange student, we wanted to have full experiences, like do everything, everywhere, every time. Like, we were not having a lot of sleep, we were having a lot of fun. And we also had, like, if I can say, also like associations for international people, because most of the associations are for Koreans, even though you can also join them, but like, if you don't speak Korean, it might be hard. I joined, like, for example, tennis club, where most of the people were Koreans, but also there were internationals, and it was okay. And actually, Koreans were like talking to me first, and I was surprised. And it was nice, they were nice. And we have like 3 associations for international students. One of was like actually only for exchange students and like Koreans, and they organized events for us, a field trip and parties, and it was very nice. And because we also had buddies from there, like Koreans who were our buddies, and we had like some groups with who we hang out. And especially at first, in the first orientation week and everything, it was so good because you want to get to know people, and it was easy to connect because we had like parties and everything. It was very nice. And also the other two associations, they organized events every week or almost every week, and it was also like hangouts or like some different, like some had already also like cooking classes or like trips to somewhere also, but also mostly it was like, I don't know, parties, something like that. But it was also nice because we get to know a lot of Koreans because of these associations, and it was very nice. And especially the Koreans who were also interested to speak to internationals, and their English was very good, and it was nice to have Korean friends. But then when you like, you know, already organize your own group and you hang out together, we also like, we had so much fun. Like in Korea, in general, it's like you have a lot of things to do. You have this like board game cafes, like, I don't know, PC cafes, something else, like a lot of things to do. In Korea, there's like, I don't know, everything. And when we were bored, we were like, let's go there, let's go there. Or also, most of the times, we were like, because we were eating outside all the time, we were going to eat together, and then we going like, sometimes going to the bar and sitting there for like hours. Yeah, that was a Korean experience because Koreans usually go to the bar, drink soju, drink beer. I'm not promoting alcohol, alcohol is bad, but that's kind of what many Koreans do, and international exchange students. And you just sit at the bar and you talk and you have fun and, you know, just enjoy with people. So it was more like not special events, but more just talking and connecting with people and playing maybe some games like talking games or something like that. Or we were like going somewhere together. So it was more organized by us comparing to Sweden, like, because there it's more events you join from associations and you go with your group to these events. And here you more organize it by yourself, most of the like days, events and everything. And it was more like talking to people, but it was still very nice. Like, I'm not saying it was worse than Sweden, no, it's just different type of activities. And in Korea we connected so well with each other because we were spending every day together, we were eating every day, like going everywhere together and everything. So it was just different, but it connected us so well. Like, we were like besties in the end, like a family. Not like we are besties. Why am I showing this? So yeah, it was different, but I will not say which one is more fun because it's super different. Both were really nice. The Korean student life as an exchange student, it's very fun. As a full-time student, I think it depends also on you, how much you want to spend time with others and everything, and how much activities you join. But also, I feel like you cannot spend like a lot of time in activities because in Korea you need to study a lot. Going back to the pressure, like, you need to study a lot. But yes, let's conclude the education and everything what I spoke here. I feel like I'm speaking already for 40 minutes. That's crazy. So, as an education, studying system and everything, giving a point to Sweden for sure. But for me, it was surprising, Korean education. But as an exchange student, let's be honest, I wasn't really going to Korea mostly for education. It was interesting to see the other education system and country and everything, but I was not mostly going there to like learn a lot, but it would be nice. But it's okay. But if you want to go full time, think about it. Depends what you want. But I'm giving point to Sweden for sure. But thanks to Korea, that my courses were not that hard and I was not spending a lot of time on them. But it was still interesting. Like, for example, one course for me was media art, and even though the whole concept was interesting, but I also learned quite interesting things. And we had like even our own exhibition and everything. It was interesting to see. So obviously you can learn something somewhere always. And then exams, totally point for Sweden, because Korean exams just feel like you're in school. Swedish exams feel more serious and anonymous, which is nice. And then about student life, points to both of them. Here as an exchange student and to Sweden as a full-time student. If you want to go for exchange to Korea, I'm still 100%, 101% suggesting you to go if it's something you want to, because it was like amazing experience, and the student life and the whole experience was really good, just really different from what I experienced in Sweden. Like, I just feel I a little bit like hated Korea in this video, but no, I'm just telling my opinion. And education, just maybe, but otherwise it's still like it's amazing. Like, exchange semester in Korea was amazing. Like, it was full of emotions, full of new people, country, culture, everything was super cool. Student life also super cool. Would I go to study full-time in Korea for like master, for example? I don't think so, to be honest, because also you need to know Korean. Well, okay, that's like, you can learn language and everything, but like, no, I don't think I want to have that pressure. I don't think so. Going for exchange for another semester on exchange to Korea, I would maybe go. I would like, yeah, it would be different already, but yeah. And I'm speaking here for like 40 minutes, I think. And I'm speaking here for like 40 minutes already, I think. And I think that's enough for today. I think I took like a big topic which I wanted to talk at first, so it took so long. I have other topics which I'm pretty sure I will speak less. Hopefully, maybe. Who knows? But I think we should end here today. I hope you understood my flow of talking, my mindset. I hope. Not sure now, but because it was like a lot of things that I wanted to say and that I was jumping, whatever, you know. Let me just do one thing. I think I should end like this. Do you want to say something? Hello. She doesn't really speak English, sorry. So, would be nice if at least one person who watched this video, even on 2x, because I know someone did, will write a comment if they got my opinion, my mindset of what I was talking about, my flow, and if it was interesting, or if you don't agree with me, or if you agree with me, or something else. Would be nice, something nice. Be nice, something nice. Oh my god. No. But for now, I'm saying goodbye to you. See you soon. And enjoy your evening, morning, whenever you're watching this. Goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Скажи пока. Karma. Bye-bye. Устала я так долго разговаривать. Ой.